All right. Well, welcome to the Unseen Marketplace. So excited to bring you this episode today. So we're talking about brave entrepreneurship. Brave entrepreneurship. Now, why would I be bringing this up? It's interesting because we talk about fear and we know that perfect love casts out all fear. But yet somehow it still creeps in and there's many different aspects and ways that you can look at this. And I don't really believe that there is a cookie cutter to this approach, right? But I wanted to bring this because I was reading in Jeremiah 1 and 9, and it says, "Have I not commanded you?" Whoa. Be strong and courageous. And courageous is another word for brave. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So, something that was different here is that it is a command. It wasn't like this suggestion, like, hey, yo, if you're all right, just go ahead and, if you want to. I mean, you don't really have to, but, if you discern that it's a great thing, go ahead and be brave, right? No, it was a command. And so, when you take a look at this in the Webster's 1828, you guys know I love my words, my dictionary. It says to bid, to order, to direct, to charge, implying authority and power to control and to require obedience. Now, what I find so amazing here is the implying of authority and power. So let's look at this in a whole new way. Like, not only has God commanded this of us, but the reason why He's commanded it is because we have the authority and the power to control fear. Like, think about that for a second. God is an amazing God, and He would not tell you or give you a command if He didn't think that you could do it, or if He didn't already give you the capabilities within to do it. Now, remember, we are more than enough. We have everything already within us. It just takes sometimes other individuals to come alongside and nudge you, kind of activate you in that arena. So, with that being said, I want you to think of things a little bit differently. That you have the power and authority to not be fearful. To not be fearful. Now, before we talk even about being brave, I really want you to understand this, that in any stage of business or ministry, in anything that you do, things creep up. Hesitancy, questioning, something that stretches your ability to retain the even thought of doing that thing where you're just saying, yeah, right, that part. And so this is normal. This is absolutely normal. I don't know if I can say that any other way, but it is absolutely completely normal. Yes, it is normal to feel this way. It is normal to um it's human nature, right? But remember that we're in this world and we're not of it. And so we have the capability, yay, to recognize that we have power and authority over this thing. Listen, there is nervousness. There are many different, like I said, many different things that we all go through when we are in capacity training, when these things are stretching us beyond what we think. And this is a great indication that we would start developing our mindset in this area. I remember after I hit 5 figures a month, well, before I had to have a certain mindset. Okay. Then after hitting that, I was like, okay, um, what does this look like now? From here, I have to stretch my mind because I already accomplished the 5 figures a month. And, now I'm here. And so then it became, okay, let's do the 6 figures in a year. And so, but what was required of me in those different times, it was different. That's why I say it's not just this cookie cutter. Sometimes when others say mindset work or they say self care, that looks differently to each and every person, right? Of exactly where they're focused. And a lot of times we can tend to, as what I see in the industry as either a coach, mentor, or consultant, we put on our own one, two, three steps, right, onto others and tell them this is the way that you got to do it. This is it. Like you will make six figures if there. But what we don't realize is because there's different building styles, some things might work for a little bit and then they feel burnt out. And they feel burnt out because it's not really how they operate, how they flow. And so they can start to get a couple little things, getting in a flow, but then, it looks like they're constantly self sabotaging, going in and out, in and out. And so I remember reading in this book, and I loved how they put this. They said, courage is doing things even when you're scared, right? Nervous, intimidated. Being brave isn't something that happens when you're not scared anymore, right? So to be courageous doesn't mean you're not going to have any thought processes or other things that kind of creep up on you to challenge you. It says, brave people don't stop hearing the whispers of fear. Oh my gosh, I love that quote. Brave people don't stop hearing the whispers of fear. They hear the whispers but take action anyway. Being brave is hearing that voice of fear in your head, but saying, okay, but the truth is, God made me on purpose, for a purpose, in this assignment or call, and I have everything that I need in this time. Sometimes we just have to ask God to show us how to get certain areas activated because He would not call you into a place that you did not have the capabilities of conquering. He just wouldn't do that, right? Um, Now, will there be some things like you feel inadequate? Absolutely. Why? Because this is what growth is about. This is what expansion is about. Every time you get into this different place of expansion, it's going to require something a little different of you each and every time, right? And so, again, like that's why I say there are no cookie cutters. There just isn't. So, let's kind of break down a little bit what courageous means. What does brave mean? So, the adjective essentially is courageous, bold, daring, intrepid, right? Fearless of danger, as a warrior. Now, that can be one of those thought processes, right? That we describe, um, you know, being brave, or, but I have to say that you're not going to be completely fearless, but you can still be courageous, okay? The more that you step into that confidence and begin to change your mindset on certain things is when you become to that point where you're just like, dude, I'm done. Like I'm not second guessing, I'm not questioning anything. I don't know when, but I know it's going to happen because that's what God said. And so that is when you've grabbed a hold of that thing, right? I'm just encouraging you that there is a process. You have to train yourself to really trust God, like the fullness thereof, that He will never leave nor forsake, that when He said He's going to do something, no matter what it looks like, He's going to do. Now, I remember having this ability in one area for me. And it was amazing, right? I would have it. It was so easy. Like, for instance, business. Listen, I have the utmost faith, the utmost of, okay, God, you do it, fine, let's go. And I will build. But then when it comes to, let's just say, marriage or family or um, maybe some other areas, right? Finances, whatever those things are. There's so many different areas. You might not have that same faith in that area, and you have to build that faith up in that area. So please, this is not meant to discourage you or anything like that. It's actually to help you see, right, that this is normal. It happens. But we have the not only command from God to be brave, to be courageous, but we also have the authority and the power, right? And so the noun of brave is a man daring beyond discretion or decency. That means that you're willing to go beyond what people might think, right? Beyond what you even might think. You're just going off the word that God gave you. And then the verb, to defy, to challenge, to encounter with courage and fortitude, or without being moved. So, my question is, are you going to be relentless in this time? Are you going to be without moving, without ceasing? One thing that I've realized over these last many, many years um, is I had to get into this place of conviction where I said, you are not in a hobby, Tanya. Like, this is not supposed to be a hobby. This is business. This is stepping into entrepreneurship. This is uh, truly saying, this is what you are called to do and what you are, or this is that divine calling, that summons that you can't run away from. And that your assignment right now is to be fulfilled through entrepreneurship. And, you have to show up for that. What is that going to require of you? I believe that business is easy. I believe that who you have to become for business can challenge you. I'm not going to say it's hard, difficult, any of those things, but I will say that it will challenge you. It'll challenge you to become, it'll challenge you to not be complacent, it'll challenge you in many, many different areas. And that is what the unseen marketplace is really about. It is about talking about those behind the scene things that many don't want to talk about, that real, raw, and truth that tend to come out along that journey, but many times we don't talk about it. I'll leave you with this. I went through a lot of different programs in business, and never once, I promise you, never once, again, I say never once, did I hear them give the concept, the precept, whatever that is, the theory of it, then show you how to apply it, then show you some of the downfalls or pitfalls, whatever you want to call them, that you might be challenged with. That's the thing right there. To show you what you may be challenged with according to how you're wired. Everybody's going to be challenged with different things. And so that is the heart behind Unseen Marketplace, is to really share the behind the scenes of those areas. And so hopefully you have enjoyed talking about brave entrepreneurship. I want to encourage you that this can happen at any stage where you question, you have hesitancy, you're not just quite sure. There's just this uncertainty. I'm going to just share with you, spend some time with God, yes, but here's the thing. I want you to keep moving. Even when you're uncertain, you know the things that you are to do. So keep doing those until you get the fullness and the clarity of where you need to go moving forward. Okay? And if you are that apostle, prophet, or teacher, listen, you can get very, very excited, super duper excited, and just get out there and build and create. More so the prophet and the apostle. And so I want to make sure that you really are using wisdom and discretion and allow the word of God to grab root, to take root, and to get a great foundation before you just go running and saying, let's go, let's go, let's go. There's many times I have built things and God would show me, or I would see it, and I would literally build the thing overnight, like no joke, website up, all that stuff, because I'm capable of doing all that and already promoting. And I was out of order. I was definitely out of order. And I ended up building multiple separate things, and it was just a hot mess instead of just allowing me to build one solid thing, and God just adds all the dimensions to it along the way, and me yielding to that process. So definitely check out tanyatanika.club if you want to reach out and connect at another level. You can always see the most updated things going on there. And until next time.